Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this Skoventyr. Skoventyr. And remember, no matter who you are valid. I had somebody in comments ask if I could play this game for the channel because they bought it and it seems confusing. Now, in reality, the game is pretty simple, but it's presented in a very confusing fashion, and it seems kind of confusing. I have it all set up in the easiest configuration. 8 trees in the forest, and then we have the bad guys. There are these 2 bad guys, these 2 bad guys, these 2 bad guys. The Gangenga, Mary or Mare, and the Lindra. These are the bad folk. Over here, this is Garmly Erig. That is the devil. And this, of course, is Voctor, the warrior, guardian, defender, badger. Now we place Voctor somewhere, just at random, I'll say right here, in the forest. And Garmly Erig is chasing Voctor, which means 1, 2, 3. Where are we? Right here. That is where they are. Now, this is not a literal description of a forest. This just shows how close, how far, in a metaphorical fashion. So the closer the devil is, it just shows that he's listening and getting closer. The farther away, it's not literal distance. It just means Voctor's being so quiet and all that he has no idea where the badger is. So, there are character cards and there are non-character cards in this deck. This deck and all of this is called the future. These are all the actions that Voctor can take. You don't roll dice. You don't do anything like that. You just take a look at what you have, what the world is, and then choose which action to take. Now let's say, I don't know if I want to position this ally in the forest because you have to put only one type of ally down. That's not a bad ally though. So if we go to Voctor's command, we can see that one of them is position. We place one ally on a tree. First one goes with Voctor, then adjacent and the same kind. Now, there is nothing here that says we have to do something, discard as an ally, but we may have to anyway. No, that's if we call to take a card, we have to pay. I keep bonking into the lid of my tablet. We do not have to pay. This is just free. Now, this means this ally is in the forest, but they are hidden. Even if Garmly Erig comes up and lands on that tree, they are hidden and cannot be captured or hurt or done away with by the devil. So that's good. They are placed, and now, I probably should have done this. I am such a terrible bad person. That is the setup. This is the game flow. You take turns clockwise, you choose an action, and you trigger it. And that's it. You just keep going round in circles like that. You have to draw cards. You can pay cards. You can only have 5 cards in your hand maximum. So I now have no cards. If I want to draw or take one of these cards here, and, well, none of them are a card that I can really use, except on Voctor's call, bonk, pay this to take a card from the future. Each of these has 2 sections, a left and a right. You pay this one when you pick it up. You pay this one if you play it, because you can discard to have this effect. Like here, if I discarded this one, this means Garmley Eric moves backward 1 tree, increasing the space. So I would discard that and then move Garmley Eric back. But I don't really need to draw, except I kind of need to draw, because if I don't, there's nothing that's going to happen. And you have to choose an action. And this one, you can damage a tree. It takes the 3 cards that are there in the future and puts them at the bottom of the deck, so you have to redraw all 3. But that damages a tree, and if you damage a tree and another tree gets damaged, that tree dies. So I need a card. I don't want to really damage a tree, but, and these numbers here, this is the number of allies you need in the forest so that you can do Vogter's Wrath, at which point you remove a minion from the game, and you have to discard all of your allies. So I only need 2 allies up there to get rid of one of these. But I'm going to have to do something. I don't want to damage the tree, but I don't really have a use for one of these, because you have to pay for it. Like if you pay for, I can't remember the rough approximation, that's like a Huldra. You have to damage a tree to pull them into your hand. So I think we're going to, not Vogter's Call, it's Vogter's Gambit. I am going to damage a tree anyway, so I can change those cards. That tree is now withered. I guess it put in that way. I got them all backwards. The tree, the roots normally go on the inside, but that's silly. Okay, so we've done that. All of these vanish. Bottom of the deck. That was my action. At the end of the actions, after your turn, you refill the future. So we're going to do that. We turn over another troll. A form skifter. They're both good and bad. And another form skifter. The reason they're good and bad is you can actually lay down a form skifter with any other ally. But to pick up the card moves Garmley Eric 1 step closer. Now, there is a thing you can do, a risk draw. If you do not want to pay that, you can do a risk draw, where you draw a card. If it is Garmley Eric moves 2 closer to you. But if it's not, you put that other card into your hand, and you didn't have to pay the cost. I don't know. So, I'm going to take one of these anyway. And Garmley Eric is on his way. While we've got that, we need to, since the turn is over, refill. Oh! While Garmley Eric is here, that's bad, because this one doesn't go away unless you use a special thing. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. Plus, to pick it up, uses up and moves closer. So, now that we've done that, and I have no cards, I'm going to have to do Vogter's Call. But I want the form skifter. Well, I already have this one. So what we're actually going to do is Wachters command. And that one, of course, is position. Place one ally on a tree. Now, I had to put the first one underneath. Well, that's good. I had to put the first one underneath Wachter. The next one has to go adjacent to one of the allies. Now that I've done my turn, we fill the future. Next turn. Now, I have two allies. Now, just to double show you, that sounded really good, didn't it? Just to double show you. Wachter's Wrath. Remove a minion from the game whose value is less than or equal to the number of allies in the forest. Then you shuffle the deck. There is a discard pile, but you do not shuffle the discard pile. And then you choose a reward. Move Wachter clockwise to any tree with an ally, and then discard all allies. Or Revenge, discard all allies, then discard one adversary from the future. And Restoration, discard all allies, then heal one tree. Well, we got this little feller. And we got this little feller. Put the tree back down. We're going to take these. And the Genganga is gone. I mean, technically, I would leave those there. But, since I'm removing them all anyway, so now I'm going to choose Revenge. Discard all allies, discard one adversary from the future. You're going to discard all your allies no matter what. So, discard, doesn't really matter. I'll keep it right there. We get rid of Garmley Eric. But is that discard? Because now I can't remember. Revenge. Discard one adversary. Ooh. Because there's times he just goes to the bottom of the deck to confound you once more. Now, if you put a Form Skifter down first, you have to keep putting down Form Skifters. But if I put down a Troll, I can then put down Form Skifters. Now, I'm not pronouncing these, again, the way Danish people would. This is really an Englishified approximation of what the words would sound like. So, now that I have moved those around and we've done that, we then start the next round. I don't have any... Oh, nope, he doesn't move because I didn't choose to move him. And I don't have a thingy there to make him go. Which, that just sounds like I've lost my mind. So we're going to do Wachter's Call, and I'm going to have to pay this to take the card. Now, this is a weird looking symbol on there. A leaf next to a card. On page 16, we have, can it focus? Expose two allies, move Garmley Erig counterclockwise up to 3 times. You may choose not to move Garmley Erig. But the other one is expose 2 allies. I don't have any allies to expose. So I think we're doing okay. I'm doing fine paying that. That would make it very dangerous because, of course, if Garmley Erig landed on them, they'd be gone. But now we have a troll in our hand. And now we refill the future. Oh, I forgot to mention this part. There are 2 expansions. This one it's the Ligtamon, and he confounds you. This is the confusion side. It goes on all the minions. You start confused, and then you go to non-confused, and then you can take out the bad guys. And it brings in a new Wachter card. And then the other one is Garmley Erig has kidnapped some of your allies. here are some resources, and then there's rules for getting your allies back that have been kidnapped. This is why we're sticking to the base right now. So now that I have a troll, we have done all this. Next turn, you know what? I think I'm going to do Victor's command and position. Oh, I forgot. I did forget. I didn't move him back up to 3. 1, 2, 3. That's because I didn't have that one. Good reason I didn't do that. Okay. Victor's call to get a card. Or, yeah, I need to do this to pick. What am I doing? I'm going to pick one of these. I'm just losing my mind, don't worry. I now have a form skifter, which means, oh boy, you know what? Risk draw. And I'll show you how it is in here. This one's mine. It's not in that. I'm going to put him in here. Risk draw. Follow the procedure. Reveal the top card of the deck if it's an adversary twice toward Victor. And if it's not, oh, it does go to the bottom of the deck, then nothing happens. But then it says also a risk card also always allows you to add the chosen card from the future. Oh, okay. So I get the form skifter no matter what. I just have to do a risk draw. And I'm going to try a risk draw. Maybe I won't, because you move Garmley Eric how far toward twice. That would be the end of the game. So I can't do that, but I can pay the 1 and have to pay the 1. Boy, that's just if I fail. Okay, risk draw. Of course, if I fail, I'm just going to discard the adversary, which this would be the end of the game. But oh look, it's another troll. That's an ally. There's no danger. I get to keep the form skifter. I just didn't want to end the game instantly, you know. If he only would move 1 towards me, that'd be fine. But he wasn't. He's moving like 2. And that's bad. So now we refill the future. Oh. Well. What I'm going to do then is position. Then my turn ends. Refill the future. What do we do next? I look at Victor's Wrath, because we have 2 of them. I'm going to remove the other Genganga. Gone. And then, the other thing that we get to do, oh, this is what I forgot to do, and I'm sorry the first time, shuffle the deck. I feel silly and bad. I can't shuffle cards normally. I do not have the physical dexterity to do so. So, because they're in these sleeves, they do slide around each other very easily. And so hopefully I didn't get them all mixed up, going up, down, and all that mixed. I'm going to do that one more time. You know, since I didn't embarrass myself with my display of how badly I can't do these things. Oh, that's going in backwards though. So I do need to take these out, and I betcha I got a whole bunch of them there that are still upside down. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just losing my mind. I'm trying to keep them all facing the same way. Okay, let's try this now in a way that is not horrific and horrifying. Well, if I did that, I would cease to exist. Okay, we shuffle the cards. And then I am going to have revenge and discard adversary. Does that discard every adversary? I cannot remember it. I am so filled with cheese. And by that, I have no idea what I'm trying to say. Victor's Wrath. I cannot remember where it is here, and it's here. Oh, there we are. Yeah, revenge. Discard all allies, discard one adversary. That's the part that I needed to know. Discard, discard, discard. I mean, we're not doing bad. We've gotten rid of 2 of the minions. Now I have to get 3 adversaries down for each. Adversaries, allies. Now, after having done that, I have to refill the future. Okay. Well, so first off, oh boy. The Huldra damages a tree. Am I going to have to cheat again and say that I didn't actually die? Yep. How about this one? Oh, look, I didn't die. Cheating is fun. I have to cheat because, again, otherwise it would be the immediate end of the game. And that would suck. So, okay. This withered tree dies. And that sucks. But now I got a Huldra. Yay! Now, again, you can discard a card to use this side. Now, I'm not quite exactly sure what the heck all that means. That's a lot of little symbols there, isn't it? Let's look up the... Gosh, where's the Huldra? Ah, there we are. Take any 2 cards from the future into your hand, ignoring the left-hand boxes. You may choose to take allies and or adversaries. Give 1 or more cards to any players. Wow! You know, that allows me to get rid of, well, to just take them, but you can't keep this one. But that moves him closer. Take any 2 cards. That's the Huldra. Any 2 cards from the future. Ignore the left-hand boxes. Okay. Ignore the left-hand boxes. I have done that. I am discarding the Huldra. Which means I have these. But then I have to pay the right-hand box. Well, gosh. You know, again, this is the weird thing, because it just says with Eric, if this card is in your hand, you have to put it immediately at the bottom of the deck. Okay, it doesn't hurt me. That's that one. Where are my cards? Where did I put mine? You know, I can't remember what I just did with them. That's the one I discarded. Where did I put the 2 cards that I'd had in my hand, though? Were they both this one? No. Okay. This was it, right? I take these into my hand. Yes, this is mine. We discard this. Wow. I'm sorry. I have severe ADHD, and sometimes it makes my brain hurt. Okay, so that actually just leaves me with the form skifter, and then we have to refill the future. That was a very bizarre play of things. But okay. Now it's the next round, so I'm going to position. But this means I can only position the form skifters if I use this skifter. So I'm going to... What does that Elfolk thing mean? Where are the Elfolk? Put an ally from the future at the bottom of the deck if I pick that one. Which means I choose this Elfolk to put in my hand. I then have to take this ally and put them at the bottom of the deck. And then we have to move Garmlieric over and refill the future. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is our hand. Now that we've gotten here, I am going to position, which means now I can only use well, that doesn't go there, it goes here. I can only use elf-folk, and I can only use form-skifters. That turns none. We refill the future, and we start again by choosing an action on one of the cards. I am going to choose the position of Voctor's command and put this form-skifter here. We refill the future. Now I have to go to Voctor's call, which means I need to draw a card that I'm not going to like, or risk the whole drawing from here, but I think I've abused that enough. So I am going to pay the cost and choose a Huldra and damage this tree. Oh dear. Now, I'm not going to finish the game in this video because I've only gotten these two down, and I'm basically just trying to show how it's running, so hopefully this has not been too confusing. Now we refill the future. Okay, so now I get to choose what to do here. To discard, again, is to take, wow, just to take 2 allies, and I have forgotten already what this thing does. Take 2 cards from the future and put them into your hand, ignoring the left-hand boxes. Well, alright then. I am going to discard this card, which means I take these 2, and then I refill the future. Oh, that's who I need. I need one more. Okay, what do I... I don't want to put them at the bottom of the deck. And I can't remember what that trolled one is. That's... Oh, discard. Move Garmley Erig counterclockwise. You know what? I am going to discard the troll. 1, 2, 3. That time for real Garmley Erig moves. We refill the future. Next one. Command of no call. Pay the cost for the elf-folk. I can't remember what the elf-folk cost is. Put an ally from the future at the bottom of the deck. That's okay. It's a Huldra. They're, you know, problematic anyway. And then we refill the future. Oh! Well, that's nice, isn't it? Badoom. Next round. Doesn't matter there. We position. We refill. Next round. Voctor's Wrath. We remove a minion from the game because we have 1, 2, 3. The Mare. Now again, I do not know if this is pronounced Mare or Mare. They do not have any accent marks in the instruction thing. They just have a dash between the two. And looking it up online, it didn't help. Any pronunciation guides just said Mare. But I don't know. But she did. And then we have to run and discard the allies, get rid of an emissary and discard the allies, or restore the tree and discard the allies. I'm going to go for Revenge. And then all of these go. You see, Voctor hasn't had to move from that position because it's not an actual running through the forest. Voctor's been doing mostly an excellent job of keeping away from the devil. Not perfect, but not bad either. Of course, we need to shuffle the deck You know, I can't remember if we're supposed to shuffle these in there too. So that's what I'm going to do. I picked them up. So now we go like this, and then we go like this. Oh, that was terrible. I need to do it this way. Because this way, at least, they have a chance of sliding in. There we go. Just slide on in there. There we go. That was nice, wasn't it? No, because I wish I could shuffle cards. Okay, we're going to consider that shuffled, and then we remake the future. Anissa, Garmlieric, and an Elephant. Now, at 30 minutes, I hope that this has given a moderately good idea of how the game is actually played. It's not as weird as the instructions make it seem. You just have to put your allies down so you have a number of allies equal to one of the minions you want to get rid of. And each turn, you just follow one of the commands on one of these cards. There's nothing really left to chance. And that's a good thing. The person that wrote it said, if you play it on just regular with 6 cards to make it the forest, you will win 3 times out of 4. If you want to make it easier, you add more. If you want to make it harder, you make less, and there's other things. I just reached the max size of the file, so some of the information that I've said has been lost because I'm having to append this to the other thing. Oh, goody. But this is how it's done, and I hope that you enjoy, because it is a fun game. I enjoyed this quite a bit. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. Bonk. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. Rah. Oops. Let's try that again. Rah. Ah. Weep. Ha ha. Weep. Yeah, okay.